Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back, or if it's your first time to my channel, welcome. Back with you today to continue my trip through my movie collection, my physical media collection with the D's Part 2. Last time I started the D's, but a lot of movies to get through. Trying to keep these somewhat short, trying to really not go over like 30 minutes just to make it easier to watch. Gonna have to cut. I'm not really sure at the end how many parts this is gonna be. This is an ongoing series, but I'm enjoying it so far. Hopefully you are too, and you keep coming back and watching, and interacting, commenting, all that kind of stuff. I really appreciate it. But let's go ahead and continue on. The next movie, the next movie in my collection is The Devil's Advocate, starring Keanu Reeves and Al Pacino. As I've said in previous episodes of this or parts of this, I am a huge fan of Keanu Reeves, especially in the 90s, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Point Break, Speed. This movie, I had forgotten to mention this movie once, before when talking about Keanu. Absolutely love this movie. Fantastic movie. A thriller, but also has some horror elements in there. It's kind of light horror. Keanu's great. Charlize Theron's in it. Al Pacino, of course, is great. He's great in pretty much anything that he's in. Fantastic movie about a Florida lawyer that is offered a high-end job in New York City by a law firm, and the boss is played by Al Pacino, and he goes from small time, like Keanu Reeves' character goes from small time in Florida to going to New York City, and some of the the kind of dirty things that go on with this law firm, and some of the things that go on and stuff, and how he deals with it. And there are some like supernatural type elements, horror elements in this, and also an allegory of that kind of world, the high-end a high-end company, law firm, anything like that, and in a big city like NYC, and just some of the stuff that goes on with the rich and powerful. Very, very good movie. I highly recommend checking that out if you've never done so. Next up, we have the Die Hard saga, I guess, is because there's more than 3. It was Die Hard trilogy for a long time, and now there's more. I apologize if you hear any noise in the background. My cat, it's my cats. But we've got Die Hard, the original, of course, Die Hard, and this one's a 2-disc DVD. We've got Die Hard, and obviously it's like these were all together. Die Hard, Die Hard 2, and Die Hard with a Vengeance here. Die Hard 2, Die Harder, which is probably my least favorite of the trilogy, but I still like it. And besides of course the original Die Hard, it's a classic. This one right here, Die Hard with a Vengeance, the third one. Love this movie. I watched it a countless number of times. I really enjoy this one, and that one oddly is the one that they used to. They always used to want to play the second one on TV. They would play the first one, sporadically. They usually at the end of the year with the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and stuff. Die Hard with a Vengeance was a special one that they didn't play that often. So when they did, I was super excited and I would watch it. I love the chemistry between Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson in that movie. And then last but certainly not least, at least in my collection, I have Live Free or Die Hard. I really enjoy this one here. I think it goes a little bit too into like you gotta suspend disbelief a little bit too far, in especially some of the scenes toward the end of this movie and what John McClane lives through. But overall, I think this is a really good movie. Die Hard, Bruce Willis, Justin Long, Kevin Smith's got a small role in it. Timothy Oliphant is the baddie in this one. I think he's fantastic. I really enjoy him as an actor. Everything I've seen him in, he's fantastic. Really good as a... I like him playing, the good guy a lot more, like, Cobb Vanth in The Mandalorian, or in the show Santa Clarita Diet with Drew Barrymore. I like him kind of playing more like the good guy role or whatever. But he's really good as a bad guy as well. Really good, especially in that when he really got to show his flex his villain muscles in Live Free or Die Hard. So I really enjoyed that one a lot. I actually was able to go see that in theaters the year it came out. 2007, I was able to go see it in the theater, and it was around, I believe, the 4th of July of that year that it came out. Sorry, I think I try not to. I got my camera set up on a little tripod on a TV table, and so I'm sorry if I kick it or my cats. That was one of my cats rubbing up against it. But all right, now we're on to the real meat of the letter D's here, and that is Disney. All of these for a while here are going to be all Disney movies, and like I said. With part 1, I have all of the Disney movies under D, just because there's so many of them, it's a lot easier to have them all together. But first off, a classic, one that was watched and rewatched a lot throughout my childhood, one of my all-time favorites. We have Aladdin, and this is the DVD Disney Diamond Edition. A lot of D's in that one, geez. D's and G's and Aladdin Diamond Disney Diamond Edition. No, excuse me. This is a Blu-ray. I'm silly. The Aladdin Diamond Edition here on Blu-ray. Again, one of my all-time favorites. I love Aladdin. And there's other. I won't say my other favorites. I'll get to it. This one here. This one you don't hear people talk about too much. Does it have a year? It probably does not have a year. No, it doesn't have a year. But on DVD, we've got Angels in the Outfield. A very young Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Christopher Lloyd, Danny Glover, Tony Danza. This is a fantastic, fantastic movie. Very feel-good movie. It's got some, it's got some heartstrings moments too. But very, very good. I don't know the lady's name, but the lady that plays the bird lady in Home Alone 2 is also in it. She plays the caregiver to the main kid. Fantastic, fantastic movie. Really love this one. I believe this is actually a remake, if I'm not mistaken. I've never seen the original. This one, though, I grew up with this one. I had the VHS tape, and I watched this one quite a lot. I really enjoy this one. This, again, it's one that doesn't get talked about a whole lot. Angels in the Outfield. If this is on Disney Plus, give this a watch, especially if you like that cast. It's a good one. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt, at his age, really does a fantastic job in that movie. Next up, another one of my tippy-top favorites, along with like Aladdin, we have Beauty and the Beast. I love this movie. I had same with Aladdin. I had the VHS of Beauty and the Beast growing up, so I watched it a lot. This is, I think, just the regular. This may be some sort of like anniversary edition, but this is just the DVD that I've had for quite a long time. And then I also have and this one may be some sort of special one too. I can't remember, because it is a 2-disc Blu-ray of Beauty and the Beast, and I'll be keeping both because they both have their own disc art. Who knows? This may have some special features. This one doesn't. You never know with releases like this. But yeah, got both the DVD and the Blu-ray of Beauty and the Beast. Next up, we've got Enchanted. This is another one I need to make sure that I put this on my list of ones that I need to upgrade to at least widescreen. We have Enchanted. I know this got a sequel. I don't really have any desire to watch a sequel. I don't think it really needed a sequel. This one's fantastic, though. At least I remember it being really, really good. And this was back when I think Disney still had some imagination and didn't just want to rehash things. You know, basically take animated movies and turn them into live action just for the sake of, you know, putting more money in their pockets for, like, they really need it. But I thought this was very, very clever for them, the way that they did this movie. Really, really enjoyed that one. And I dropped the next ones here. Got the DVD widescreen of Finding Nemo, and it's a double disc. It also comes with full screen for some reason. I don't know why, but we've got Finding Nemo. Absolutely love Finding Nemo. Watched it a couple times, a few times, probably a handful at least. Then the sequel, Finding Dory, also very good. This is a very good movie as well. Finding Nemo is better, but I really did enjoy Finding Dory as well. And this is a Blu-ray copy of that. I ended up probably paying $4 for this at Redbox when Redbox was still a thing. Crazy to think that Redbox is now going to be something that, you know, future generations are not going to know what it is, or not, you know, not going to grow up with it or whatever. It's going to be another relic of the past that we're going to talk about, that there's, you know, going to be kids and adults even that don't know what Redbox is. Next up in the Disney portion of this, we've got Freaky Friday, of course, the 2000s remake with Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan. I was looking for a year here because some of these just don't want to give you a year. But anyway, this one's fantastic. I haven't watched the full teaser or the trailer or whatever as I'm recording this of the sequel. What is it, like Freakier Friday? Again, I don't have a desire to see it necessarily. I don't really think that there needed to be a sequel, given, you know, there doesn't need to be. They didn't need to follow this up. But I really do love this one. This is a great movie. It's nostalgic for me. Jamie Lee Curtis is fantastic in it. She just seems like a really like chill, cool person that I would hang out with. Next up, another classic. I watched this again. I had the VHS of this, and I watched it. I'm surprised I didn't ruin some of these cassette tapes for as much as I watched them. This is one of them here, a Goofy movie, which I never heard anything about this movie from anyone else growing up. I love this movie. I watched it. There is the sequel, an Extremely Goofy movie. It's okay. I don't own that one. Don't really care to. This one I absolutely love. Never heard anything about it growing up from anybody else. I thought I was the only one, but apparently there was a whole trend with TikTok and, you know, the Powerline songs and everything like that. Apparently I was not alone with this movie. There is quite a fan base that grew up and loved that movie, or still loves that movie. Still good. I rewatched it a couple years ago, and I still enjoy it. I still think it's great. Next up, we have a double feature of Halloween Town and Halloween Town 2. What is it? Calabar's Revenge. At least Halloween Town. Also Halloween Town 2, if I can fit it in. But Halloween Town, the first one, is a rewatch every year, or I try to every year for Halloween. Great movie. It's one that I remember watching when I was younger and really loving. Kimberly Brown is great in the lead role. Debbie Reynolds as the grandma, she's fantastic. And Judy Hogue, April O'Neil herself, you know, from the first TMNT live action movie, is the mom in this, and she's great as well. Halloween Town 2, and then Halloween Town High, which is the third one. They're all great. They're all great. I still need to get Halloween Town High. I don't own that one. I think it's the fourth one. They recast Kimberly J. Brown. I think it's Kimberly J. Brown. Is not in it. She's recast with someone else, and it's like no disrespect to that girl because I've seen her in other things, and she's fine. But there was something missing with that one. In my opinion, the first one though is the best. Halloween Town, the first one, and High is pretty good too, just because they introduce a bunch of other characters that are different types of monsters in the town, and then they come to the human world, and it's a lot of fun. I'm a sucker for those type of movies, and those are the kind of movies I think that I've been a horror fan for a long time, pretty much since I was a child. I was watching horror movies probably earlier than I should have, but movies like that have horror themes and elements, creatures, monsters, especially like Halloween, because it's my absolute favorite holiday. A more light-hearted, like horror light or something like that I really enjoy that kind of stuff as well. It's like there are times when it's just like you want downright horror, you want to be scared, you want, whatever, and then there's times where you want something that has horror elements, but it's lighter and it's more fun, and I think that's what Halloween Town is. It, as for a kids movie, it does kind of have some dark elements and stuff to it as well. There has to be a villain and everything like that, but it's done in a way that is definitely more lighthearted. Anyway, on to another one that I try to watch every year, and that is Hocus Pocus. I got the Disney Blu-ray here, the anniversary edition of Hocus Pocus. Another one, like I said, I try to watch every year for Halloween, and that's another one that's similar to a Goofy movie. I thought I was alone in loving this movie growing up, and now it's there's a huge fan base now for Hocus Pocus, and enough so that and I think Disney also saw they followed the trends. They follow social media. They're on social media. They pay attention. They realized it, and now they're cranking out all this Hocus Pocus merch. I mean, we even got a sequel. There may be another sequel, at least with the way that they kind of left it. Is they could continue on if they want to. I really hope that they don't. The second one's fine. I was okay with it. But if I'm gonna watch Hocus Pocus, I'm just gonna watch the OG. Next up, another blast from the past. We've got Holes, starring Shia LaBeouf, based on the book. I've never read the book, but I absolutely love the movie. I think I caught the movie on maybe ABC Family back in the day for the first time, and just put it on, not thinking anything of it, and really enjoyed it. And this my copy is actually from Movie Gallery, but really enjoyed this movie. It's a great rewatch. It's one that I've watched quite a few times. But Shia LaBeouf obviously in it. Sigourney Weaver is great in it. Jon Voight, even though I don't necessarily like the person, but his role in that, he's very good in that one. Very memorable as Mr. Sir. Really good movie though. Another one that I've watched a lot of times. Probably more than I really want to admit to, but I do love it. Next word. Next, we got Homeward Bound: The Incredible Journey. This is the 90s remake, the one that I grew up in. I didn't realize until I was an adult that this was actually a remake. I love this movie. Fantastic movie. Watched it a lot as a kid. We actually had the VHS growing up, so I watched this a lot. Really love this movie. It's very special, very near and dear to my heart. very nostalgic to to watch Homeward Bound, even though it's like that. The end always gets me. The end always, no matter how many times I watch it, I will still tear up at the end of that movie. If you know, you know. All right, next up we have Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Rick Moranis, just a classic. Eventually, I do want to get Honey, I Blew Up the Kid, the sequel. I really do. I like that one as well. Even though there's some continuity issues between the two movies, but it's like I really enjoyed this movie a lot. This again a classic. This was one of those movies that was on TV a lot growing up, like on TBS and stuff. So I watched it. I watched it a lot that way. Never owned it growing up, but anytime it was on TV, I was sitting there watching Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Next up, we got The Incredibles. This was one I actually, when it came out, I went to see in theaters and was very, very pleased. It's still a great movie. I still have not seen the sequel. Eventually, I probably will. I don't really have an excuse. I have Disney Plus right now. It's like I could watch it. At the same time, it's just like I don't know if it's gonna be on the same level as this one. My fiance says it is. She thinks so. But I don't know. I really enjoy this movie. I enjoyed this a lot when I saw it. I haven't rewatched this in quite a few years, but I remember really loving that movie. They did a great job capturing the superhero thing in the Disney Pixar. Because technically this is Pixar, but it's Disney Pixar, so it's in the Disney pile. Next we've got, and I got them backwards, we've got The Jungle Book, the 40th Anniversary Edition. I'm not a huge fan of The Jungle Book. I do like it. I do remember watching it growing up. I never had the VHS, but my cousin did. And then it's like, I think, watched it at school a couple times, for like end of the year or like a special day or something like that. We'd have a movie day or something. But I've made it a point when going out in like to Goodwill and thrift stores and stuff like that, secondhand shops, if I find any classic Disney, picking it up. So I have some more in that same vein later on that I'm not a huge fan of, but it's from a particular era that so it's Disney. I find it at Goodwill, especially for $1.50, I'm gonna pick it up. So that was one of those with The Jungle Book. I found it and I picked it up. That was a day where I think I came at the right time, and it was someone's Disney DVD collection that someone had donated, because I walked out of there with a stack of Disney DVDs that day. Next up, one of my favorites, another one that's up there with Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast. We have The Lion King on Blu-ray. This is the Diamond Edition. Lion King on Blu-ray. Absolutely love this movie. Another VHS that I had growing up that I watched the heck out of. The music's great. I even had the cassette tape of the soundtrack on cassette. That I would ride around on my bike around my house, around the outside of my house on my bike, riding, listening to this, listening to the soundtrack on my Walkman. So that shows my age. But anyway, a little bit about me there. Next, we got another Disney Pixar movie, Monsters, Inc. I don't know what I love it. It's a great movie. It was during that time Pixar was just churning out just banger after banger after banger, and this is one of them right there with Monsters, Inc. I still have yet, and this is a 2-disc. I'm not sure if this is like any kind of special version or anything. It doesn't say that, but it does have a second bonus disc. But I have not seen Monsters University yet. Eventually I'll get around to it. but Monsters Inc. is definitely an A+ for me. Next, Nicolas Cage is going to steal the Declaration of Independence in National Treasure. I've also got National Treasure 2, Book of Secrets. I want to say Book of Shadows on accident, but it's not. It's not Blair Witch. It's Book of Secrets. I was working at a movie theater when this came out, and I remember watching the first, because when we would take breaks, we could get free popcorn and we could go sit in a theater, and watch a movie for 20, 30 minutes or whatever our breaks. I sat in on National Treasure the same probably 20 minutes of the movie for a week until I finally actually got to watch the entire movie. But I was working in a theater at that time when it came out. I was able to go see it on my off day and see it in the theater. Love this movie. Great movie. I love history. It's especially American history, as much as it's no history is 100% accurate, but history is still history, and it's still fun, and it's still interesting to me. I love what they did with this movie. Fantastic. National Treasure 2 is still pretty good. It's not as good as the first one in my opinion, but I still enjoyed it. And then next, we have another classic. Of course, I think everyone knows this movie, especially if of a certain age. We have The Nightmare Before Christmas. Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas, even though he didn't actually have a whole lot to do with this movie, other than, I guess, it was his idea, and he did create the framework of the characters and all that kind of stuff, or kind of the initial sketches and all that kind of stuff, but didn't have a whole lot to do with this movie really, but it does have his name on it. I do kind of hate that now this movie is owned by Disney, considering Tim Burton when he was younger, when he was first starting out, he did work as a animator at Disney, and when he did this movie, Disney wanted nothing to do with it. They wanted nothing to do with this movie, and then suddenly, once it had a following and was popular, they were interested in it, and he sold it to them. And now, Nightmare Before Christmas merchandise is everywhere. You cannot go into any single store, any single shop, without finding something that's got Nightmare Before Christmas on it. Either the name or a character or anything like that. Like, it's insane. And that's, Disney loves, they definitely know how to churn out the merch for their properties, that's for sure. Next up, we've got Oliver and Company. This is one you really don't hear a whole lot of people talk about, and this is one that, and this is the 20th anniversary edition of this. I don't remember when this came out. I think it was the early 90s when Oliver and Company came out. This one you really do not hear a whole lot about. This was one that I wouldn't have even known had my mom not bought me the VHS tape of it as a gift, and I would have never known. But it's been a long time since I've actually rewatched it. But I remember really enjoying it as a kid, and I think I gave it a rewatch at some point in in at least the last 5 years, I want to say. But yeah, really good movie. One that doesn't get talked about a whole lot, Oliver and Company. It's got some great music, and it's one of those that I wish did get talked about more. Next is another one of my favorites growing up. Again, another one I had the VHS cassette of, and I just actually, as I'm recording this, I watched this 2 nights ago, I believe. I've been wanting to watch it for a while, and I finally, I come home from work, I ate dinner, took a shower, ate dinner, and then I put on Pinocchio. I watched it, and then I fell asleep. But yeah, got the 70th anniversary edition of Pinocchio. I think this movie originally came out in 1940, I want to say. I think it was the 40s. But, growing up in the 90s, it was one of my all-time favorites. It's one that I watched over and over and over again. So next up, let's see how far we are into the Disney. I really wanted to finish the Disney. I'm not going to be able to finish the Disney in this episode, unfortunately. So, I'm going to finish it up in the next part. So, D, part 2. This is the end of D's, the D's part 2. And the next one, D's part 3, will be the final of the D's and Disney. And we can move on then to whatever else, E, F, G, whatever, however far we get. I'm just trying to keep these no more than like 30 minutes long. I'm not trying to make people watch the hour-long videos of these if I can help it. So, but that's going to do it for this one. Going to come back for the next installment of this and finish out my Disney movies and the D's, and then go from there. But I hope you're enjoying this. If you are, let me know in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff, and keep coming back. And I think now it's like you got to ring the bell so you get notified when people you've subscribed to upload new videos. So do that so you can, if you're enjoying it, you want to keep coming back and checking out the next installment of this as I make my way through my entire physical media collection, my physical movie collection. But that's going to do it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for watching again. I really appreciate it. Any interaction you have with this video, I appreciate. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. And until next time, stay awesome and keep collecting.